How to overcome offense. How to overcome offense. We shall look at the case study of Ahithophel. Who is Ahithophel in the Bible? Ahithophel was offended, and we can learn from him how to overcome offense, on how he handled his own offense. Remember, offense is when you feel that someone has wronged you and it may cause resentment in your heart towards them. Now, who is Ahithophel? When you read the book of 2 Samuel, chapter 11, verse 3, you find that Bathsheba is the daughter of Eliam. And in 2 Samuel 23:34, the Bible says that Eliam was the son of Ahithophel. So probably this Ahithophel is the grandfather to Bathsheba. Bathsheba, the wife of Uriah the Hittite. Therefore, from that study, we can also go to know what else was he doing. In 2 Samuel chapter 15 verse 12, 2 Samuel chapter 15 verse 12, you find that Ahithophel was a chief counselor to David. He was an advisor to the king. So Ahithophel was always in the palace daily to advise the king. And the same Ahithophel is the grandfather to Bathsheba. So it means Ahithophel was privy to all things that happened, the killing of Uriah and marriage of Bathsheba to King David. This thing must have wounded Ahithophel, because the marriage of Bathsheba and Uriah was their family affair. These were his grandson-in-law and a granddaughter, and he himself knows how they were doing well in their lives. But King David kills the husband and takes the granddaughter as the wife. This one must have hurt Ahithophel deeply, now that he is always in the palace to advise the king. Maybe the king never sought his advice about this issue, knowing that Ahithophel is related to Bathsheba. Ahithophel must have felt disrespected, and the family, one of his own king's family, destroyed. And I believe that Ahithophel bred this offense in his heart, which grew to unforgiveness and which grew to bitterness. So it can be interpreted that he was always in the palace, looking for an opportunity one day to revenge because of the killing of Uriah and destruction of his king's marriage and family. And the time came for him to revenge when Absalom raised a rebellion against King David. Now, what are the things that Ahithophel was supposed to do that we Christians can learn at this stage of introduction that we are looking at today, that could have helped him to heal from the offense? Because put yourself in the shoes of Ahithophel, that you are the chief counselor of the president or the king of the land. You are always in that palace, and every day you walk around and you see Bathsheba, your granddaughter, married now in that palace. But you know very well, you as a family, you married her to Uriah in the village. But that Uriah was killed by this same king who was married the Bathsheba, now staying in the palace where you are working as an advisor. And every day Bathsheba passes, says, "How are you, my grandfather?" You laugh, you smile, yes, but deep down, you're not happy with what happened. Maybe you had a very good relationship with your grandson, Uriah. What are some of the things that this guy was supposed to do to heal from offense? One, he could have accepted that he's wounded and he needs help. Acceptance is the first stage. I'm wounded in my heart and I need help. Now you start seeking help. Number two, he should have confronted David and told him about the issue so that David can have a chance to say sorry. He could have told David, "I'm your advisor, but I was not happy with what you did." And David, as a man we know, was humble and ready to say sorry. I believe he could have apologized. But we know Ahithophel, we don't see any record anywhere him asking for and confronting David about the matter. Another thing is run to God in prayer and fasting. Whenever you offended my brother, my sister, the first thing is to run to God in prayer and fasting. Ahithophel, as we shall see later, he was as a man who advises like someone who hears the voice of God. So Ahithophel was a man who asks of God direction, God's direction, then he comes to tell King David. So he had the opportunity to go to the same God, Yahweh, and tell him, God, I'm hurt by King David. Help me. All of us, some people will hurt us and will hurt people. The quickest medicine is to run to the feet of Jesus. Immediately, run to your house, run to the corner. God, Sister so-and-so said this against me and I was really hurt. Help me, Lord, to overcome. Forgive me for feeling offended. Run to your corner, run somewhere back and say, God, forgive me. I feel offended. He could have done that. There are three things you're learning here. One, accepting that you're offended. Some people, when people come and tell you, I'm sorry, the way I spoke to you, maybe I hurt you, and you say, no, I'm sorry. I'm okay. There's nothing that happened. No, you are just okay. No. And deep down you are hurting. No, tell that person, it's true. What you said was not good, or what you did against me was not good. Accept that you are hurt. When you accept, the first stage of healing starts. Because you look for counseling, you look for advice, you'll find someone to talk to, and you vent out when you accept that you are hurt. Number two, you go to that person. And we have said he could have gone to David. Speak about the issue. Find an opportunity to talk with the person. Can be your partner in marriage, in a relationship, can be your child, can be someone you stay with in a home, can be a house help, can be your boss, can be a member in the church, someone you just differed has offended you. Look for the person and share about the issue. This is one thing that Ahithophel did not do at this stage, that he was still in the palace. Another thing is that he did not confront God in prayer. All of us can go to God in prayer, and he says that the peace that surpasses human understanding shall guard our hearts. Let's look at the next part in the next teaching I'll bring, part 2, during the rebellion of Absalom. What are some of the things that Ahithophel did about offense that we can learn? This was about when he was still in the palace. Now, what about when Absalom raised a rebellion? That is in part 2. Kindly remember to subscribe to this channel, like, comment, you can share. Thank you for viewing. God bless you.